for our next map. Going to be really interesting to see how this comes. Nope, I'm not going to get thrown by the attacking side. Nope, I'm not falling for that. As we head into Hollywood, we do see an interesting setup coming out for Arctic Foxes, and I completely kid because this is exactly what we've seen them run all night. And I'm actually a little surprised that they're not changing up strat here, but it looks like we might possibly see a similar dive strategy coming out for the dumpster divers as well. What do you think about that, Gizmo?
I think, honestly, on this map particularly, it's going to be very easy because you can take the high ground. You know Arctic Fox have been running that dive, so it might be okay to run it because they'll be split.
Yep.
And honestly, when it comes to the dive versus dive, you want to take that high ground, and there's a lot more open room to dive. And if Tommy can find better hacks, which he unfortunately was not able to on Golden Crow, it could be the difference in the fight.
That is true. And Ore, we see them diving onto the high ground, looking to see if they can grab control of the objective now. Eeyore dropping down as well as Shell Shock. Here comes the rest of the team. Bubble coming down for Golden Crow, falling incredibly low right there. But Seb and Demel keeping everybody up in the fight right now. Though the bubble comes out for Eeyore, looking to see if they can get a pick. And Tommy able to get Panda there in the back line. Without that Reaper, that's a lot of damage out, but Azadale not going to allow that to happen. Unfortunately, it will, as both Demel and Seb coming out with the Coalescence, trying to see if they can keep their sides alive, but it's not going to be enough. The Arctic... Oh, Golden Crow... What? Golden Crow already has Primal Rage. And Eeyore also has Primal. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous right here. Eeyore just pounding away at everybody on the objective. Takes Panda out, gets second tick on the objective, and I think that's going to be a capture of Objective Alpha as the payload gets ready to hit the streets.
Like I was just saying, you know, you want to take that high ground, push them off, allow you to have the advantage of the dive, because you are on the escape route for going up against dive is the high ground. And I will say huge props to Tommy. Had 2 huge hacks and got EMP first before Wolf. That is the first time tonight that he was actually able to beat Wolf on the EMP battle.
That's true. It doesn't happen often. Diva Bomb going to the high ground, ends up getting Golden Crow. In the end, the bubble protects everybody else. Wolf on the objective, though, ends up getting the big EMP there, but we don't see the bomb come in from Azadale until afterwards. The EMP already worn off, and the bubble collects the damage. And now the beat drop coming in from Akua, looking to see if they can clean it up. The only ultimate left on the field is Brian right now, looking to possibly use that Blossom to grab anyone coming out of spawn. There it is. Brian. And triple kill as they come out of the spawn doors. And that payload is just going to move its way past the saloon and into Objective 2 with 4 minutes on the clock.
Uh-oh. Panda might be in trouble here.
Uh-oh. That's not a good positioning. Panda on the high ground, looking to see if they can drop down with that Blossom, but really needs the support of the rest of their team to be able to do that. Here comes Blossom on the high ground, ends up getting both the healers, exactly the people they were looking out for. The DMAC comes in from onto Shell Shock as Demel, and Azadale clean up the rest. Wolf following up on their counter. Tommy, and with 3 minutes 20 seconds on the clock, they will hold the payload at about 15 meters early of Objective 2.
And for those of you who can't see right now, Akua got very scared when Panda came down, so even let him know that he freaked out there, which, you know, I'm not gonna lie, if I had the Grim Reaper on my death door right then and there when I needed to be alive, I would be screaming my butt off too.
That's one of those what is it? To be continued moments.
Yeah, exactly.
As the memes come out, just like ah! But already EMP's online for both Wolf and Tommy, and there it comes. 5-man EMP coming out from Wolf, but the cleanup is coming in reverse, though. The Primal Rage now being invested from Golden Crow, looking to see if they can get the picks they're looking for, but Eeyore and the rest of the team just going to allow that to continue forward. Bomb now going out from Azadale. They're just chucking everything they can at this objective, and it's not going to be enough. We see a minute and a half added to the clock as they grab objective number 2, giving them 3 minutes 45 seconds to push into that VIP parking spot.
That's the first time we've seen Wolf pop an EMP that didn't have a follow-up ult for it. Of course, the D.Va bombs have been late, but Wolf is also now at 60% on the new EMP, so, you know, push comes to
has one.
Yeah, Tommy still has his, but I mean, after a fight popping it like that, Wolf is showing a pretty, strong Sombra tonight.
That is true.
He had just probably about maybe 10 seconds for Azadel to get their bomb, so maybe patience on that game.
That's a good way to start. EMP bomb coming out for Tommy and Shellshock and gets the double right there as Panda ends up getting hacked, trying to see if they can get the pick onto Shellshock, but the Coalescence out from Seb, not going to allow that to continue on any further. They are pushing very quickly into that parking space with 2 minutes 50 seconds on the clock. The bubbles come onto the objective. Big EMP ends up getting 5, but the cleanup once again is just not there as the picks continue to come in for the side of the dumpster divers. We see the healers trying to hold strong as the Blossom comes out from Brian, but it is not going to be enough for them. 2 minutes 30 seconds on the clock, and it looks like, wait, Wolf swapping over to the Doomfist, trying to hold on, gets taken down by Brian. D.Va bomb now coming out from Azadale, gets nothing but cart right there as we see the follow-up continuing to come in from Brian and Seb, just cleaning up every single person that touches this cart. Not going to be able to hold on much. Oh my gosh, the feed coming in from this objective is huge. Able to shave that down to 2 minutes 2 seconds on the clock for the dumpster divers.
Yeah, right now, our question of the night is definitely being answered. It looks like, worrying more about enabling the player is working out a lot better than enabling the team. Wolf had some amazing EMPs. I mean, 4 to 5 men on almost all of them, but unfortunately, there was no follow-up on any of them. And, when you pop such a major ult like that and you see the red team in your kill feed being the ones alive, if I was Wolf, I might want to switch because the ult you're trying to get value is just not getting the necessary value you need.
That is true. That is
bites. Truly bites for him because I mean he's just been building one after another.
And I think that's one of the issues that we're starting to see here is that Arctic Fox is not having the cohesion that we saw in the first half. It seems like people are just trying to throw ultimates and hope they stick instead of planning them out effectively to make sure that they do stick. And so I'm hoping that we'll see here on the attack some change come around that might be able to help that out. Demol possibly coming out on the Ana this time around, but against the dive composition, that is really dangerous. You're not going to be able to keep up with the team very well, but you do have that anti-nade and sleep. So I wonder if maybe they're just trying to change up the game just enough that it works out well for them.
Yeah. Tommy and Shellshock, though, had a nice combo of the D.Va Bomb EMP. We've gotten 2 in that last fight. So they seem to be finding the strategy of the other team and being able to use it to their advantage.
That's true, and we already see the dive going in onto the high ground, looking to see if they can get the value they're looking for. Wolf just hammering away with that machine pistol as they continue to gain the value. Tommy able to get the pick onto Azadale right there as we see them get thrown out of the objective. It looks like Demol on that Ana just not providing the healing that they need to be able to keep things going. And I imagine between Shellshock's and Eeyore's bubble, that's not helping them out a whole lot, getting those direct hits. Already a minute off the clock as we wait for their next push.
Yeah, Demol, unfortunately, on the Ana, and ML7 will attest to this, going up against D.Va and any shield is always detrimental to that, especially when you're trying to heal a dive combo. Big nade.
That nade was big, but they didn't have the follow-up to be able to get the pick right there, and the heals are going to come in strong as the Coalescence comes out from Seb. Eeyore ends up falling to Panda, but Shellshock there to follow up on the damage. Anti-nade coming in. Seb trying to hold strong as the beat comes in from Akua. Now the Nano in onto Golden Crow, trying to follow up on the damage, but Brian just melts. Golden Crow, Demol, Cucumber, Wolf falling to Tommy soon after with 2 minutes 20 seconds remaining on the clock. That was just an oof. It hurts to see that damage.
Ooh, Azadel just kind of feeding a little recall on the mech. Probably should have just took the L and just died. Giving some huge ult charge back to Eeyore. And we've got Death Blossom and Diva Bomb for Dumpster Divers right now. They have the spacing ults going for them.
That is true. That's a huge nade, and Wolf able to get Tommy right there. Tommy not able to recall right there, and here comes the Primal out from Golden, looking to see if they can take him down, but trapping that Reaper in the corner is not very good. As we see the Blossom come out from Panda, gets eat, yummy, eat him up from Shell Shock right there. Brian able to get the pick onto Demel, though, with their own Blossom. As we see Seb coming out with the Coalescence once again. That is going to be another cleanup of the objective with 1:20 on the clock.
Yeah, right now the Arctic Fox just, unfortunately, are not showing us that coordination they had on Nepal. And I think they're letting the, Anubis map get to them. And right now, Eeyore and Shellshock just haven't been following each other on their dives. Eeyore just, or excuse me, not Eeyore. Golden Crow hasn't been following with Azadel, and it's just kind of been throwing them off.
Yep, that is not a good place to be. Wolf already out of position right there, gets taken down by Seb's Death Ball, and with 45 seconds remaining on the clock, you want that EMP available. Tommy getting ready to probably pop one of their own as they just earn it up, but the melt just continues to come in. Brian on fire right now as the rest of the team prepares for the final attack.
Yeah, if I was Wolf right now, I'd be waiting probably to the last second fight to pop that EMP. Hopefully, maybe Panda gets his Death Blossom up and you can get some value out of it. If he just throws it up randomly, if there's no follow-up with the dives or anything, huge EMP.
That's not a good way to start, though. EMP bomb coming in as Panda and Golden Crow both fall. As we see, trying to get to the objective. Wolf using the EMP gets 3. The beat now getting fed in from Cucumber, but the Coalescence coming in from Seb, Blossom, and beat from Brian and Akua are not going to be enough to hold on to that. Overtime ticks away. As we see, Panda, I guess, trying to dance into the objective with the Blossom. I'm not for certain what they were trying to do there, but it's not going to be enough. Dumpster Divers taking the lead after the half here on Hollywood.
Yeah, you know what? Like we said, it's that coordination that Artifacts had. They didn't have it now. And also, I think the switches that, Dumpster Dives made, we're going to see them switch 3 people out just because, you have to play the 2 maps. So I'm interested to see what happens now that we get to see the original Dumpster Divers or, a different set of Dumpster Divers go into the next fight against the Arctic Fox, who are also probably going to make some switches of their own and see maybe that's where the coordination is. You got some people that are just got better synergy with the team than others. And, I think Wolf was just a little impatient with his EMPs on Hollywood. So I think if you take that and, just relax, like I said, maybe the Temple of Anubis got to them. Just settle down. You'll be able to get it. And like I said, really their coordination's been good up until Hollywood. And if they can just fix that little tweak, they definitely would have made that a lot closer Hollywood.
That is true, and it's like we've talked about on the podcast as well. Some teams have so many players on their roster that they have to play them out every match. That's part of the rules, and so maybe this is time for the Dumpster Divers to start looking to trim those branches a little bit. If you have a set 6 that are really good, and right now that setup has worked out incredibly well for them during the past 2 maps compared to what we saw on Nepal. Even though it wasn't bad, it wasn't a victory. It would be interesting to see how this moves forward for them. So might be keeping a lookout on the members of Dumpster Divers, see if any trims come in the near future. But Arctic Fox has really got to try to shake this off and try to move their way into our final map, which looks like it will be Watchpoint Gibraltar. So go ahead, start popping off in the chat. Do you think that this is time for the reverse sweep to happen? Do you think they're going to be able to bring it back and take us to a map 5? Or do you think the dumpster divers are just going to dive in headlong for that victory and take the Arctic Foxes down into a shallow garbage grave? Let us know there in the chat who y'all are voting for. And with all that being said, it looks like we're just going to wait and see when the teams are ready to go. I want to remind you, us here at Overwatch Tranquility love you. So we hope that you show us your love by hitting that follow button and push that bell so you get notified every time you're online. Remember, it is also September. You can get 20% off a 1-month subscription, 25% off a 3-month subscription, and 30% off a 6-month subscription during the month of September. So just like Mr. Disrespect says, it's very, very important to make sure that you land those subs in. It goes a long way to supporting our community, and all of that comes back to you in the form of giving away, doing the giveaways every Monday on the podcast, as well as the other times like we just recently did during event week, the $100 Amazon card. That's all support that comes from the community. So looking in the chat right now, it looks like we have some interesting stuff going down. Apparently you temporarily were dissolved into pixels.
Yeah, I looked at it, I'm like, what's going on? You know what it is? Paradise played Void this week, and I guess it's saying, hey, we beat you, so we're going to take you off camera too. So
hacking the stream. What you doing?
And DDoS here by the teams. Yeah.
It does happen. It does indeed happen. Thank you so much, NPC, for trying to help the Zoomers understand all the basketball references there in the chat. We totally appreciate that.
See, I could have gone even further and gone lacrosse, and then no one would have known. So at least I was trying to stick with.
You were trying. I appreciate it so much.
But seeing Duds and Nevitz come back in, this is minus Eeyore instead of Davion.
Yeah.
And Shellshock, the tanks. This is pretty much the team we saw come in on Nepal. So, if I'm Arctic Fox right now, get that coordination straightened out, because this is the lineup that you did really well against. This is the one where you took the map. So
that's true. That's true.
Time to get your stuff together and not pack up and go home just quite yet, because you've got 3 points to capture.
I think that they can totally turn it around, but let me know in the chat if you believe that they can do so as well. Would definitely. Oh, look at this. We spam this dive to see map 5. So I definitely am one of those people that could care less what team is playing. If you're going to a map 5, it's a good night. That's all it comes down to.
For sure. Yeah, and you know what? We're going to probably see that dive coming from the Arctic Fox, and Gibraltar is such an amazing map for the dive. You want to take that blue box on first point, and right now Eeyore on the Hog. Hog Diva? Oh no.
Don't get debated. Don't you do it. Don't you do it, Gizmo. Don't you fall for it. Don't you fall for the debate. Don't you do it. Oh my.
I hope they stay on it. I hope they stay on it.
They are on attack. Do not fall for that debate. You fell for the debate. Oh my gosh. You got debated so hard. Oh man. But with 10 seconds on the clock, we are going to see them come out. Duds. Possibly, I might get debated as well, but it is a fairly good Widow map. So seeing Duds on the Widow,
lines, even with the dirt, it's not a bad pick.
That is true, and we did see Duds come out on the Ash for Nepal as well. So maybe that sniper can work out really well for them. Panda teleporting back to the safety of the team there as we see the payload starting to move its way forward. Duds on that high ground getting boosted by Akua, looking to see if they can get those picks. Azadale falling low, and here comes a dive in from Eeyore, looking to see if they can get that finalization of pick, but Shellshock ends up getting hacked out as the payload ends up working its way into the underground. Duds having some incredible positioning right now, looking to see if they can get some picks as the dive coming in. from Azadale to try to take them out of the fight. Gonna end up being unsuccessful, and now gonna get traded out with Golden Crow going after that Widow, just continually trying to chase them down. It looks like this payload gonna get stuck here at the 62-meter mark here for a second. Azadale finally able to get that first pick onto Shellshock after the DMAC, and it looks like they're going to continue to hold strong right now. With 2 minutes 50 seconds on the clock, we might see a little bit of a back off come in from the Dumpster Divers.
Yeah, unless Duds finally is able to find a pick, I would honestly rotate back to point and switch off the Widow, because it's kind of hard to run Widow against this comp.
I mean, they're getting a lot of value ult-wise. Just not click-wise.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, though, Golden Crow and Azadale just have done a great job rotating, constantly keeping that pressure on Duds, not being able to get value on the Widow. And, I mean, even with the damage boost, you're looking at maybe 1 or 2 body shots on the tank and a body shot on a Squishy.
Woo! There comes the big EMP, big old monkey diving in to try to get that Mercy and Widowmaker right there. Going to be pretty successful, but Duds does take down Golden Crow in the end, but the rest of the team just cleaning up the rest of that right now. Panda is going to go ahead and pay back Duds for taking out their main tank, and will continue to hold strong on this objective. 1 minute, 40 seconds remaining as the Dumpster Divers regroup.
And there you have it, an EMP with no follow-up ult and got huge value, was the only ult used. They have 5 ults online. You only have 4 coming up on Dumpsters.
That is true. Let's get back into the fight as the Nano now going in onto Eeyore. Tries to get the pick onto Wolf, but gonna be unsuccessful. Now here comes out the Primal, trying to see if it can find some value with that big Diva Bomb. Ends up grabbing Golden Crow and Demol. And now the Beat and Diva Bomb get traded as well, trying to get the remake after the anti-nade came in. Panda able to grab Duds, but the Blossom that just came out wasn't able to grab a whole lot of value due to Shellshock being remeked right there. Demo now coming out with the Coalescence. They're literally just trying to throw everything they can at this objective right now, falling incredibly low. Wolf will grab Shellshock and Eeyore as Azadale follows up onto Tommy, and Golden Crow smacks that old lady Nevitz right into the corner with the Primal. That's 30 seconds remaining on the clock and a big EMP in the pocket for this final fight.
Yeah, honestly, though, Wolf just saved the C9 from happening. Tommy had snuck around on the Tracer and almost got the point. I don't know if you saw that, but they were just probably about a meter away once they finally got caught.
That is true. EMP getting ready to be used by Wolf right there. Gets found out too early as Demol able to get the pick on Duds with that Reaper now in the fight. Gonna be huge. Eeyore is the only one that ends up getting EMP'd as overtime ticking away right now. Golden Crow trying to get the cleanup as Panda and Wolf follow up on picks. Panda with the Blossom takes down Akua as Azadale and Demol follow up on picks of their own. The only person left to try to get to the objective is Duds, but gets chased off by the Grim Reaper themselves, Panda. With just shy of objective 1 right there, it looks like Arctic Foxes are putting the ice on the Dumpster Divers.
You know, maybe it was just the map set. They hadn't had practice on Dive on Hollywood, so
maybe
if I'm going back to the VOD review and I'm Arctic Fox, maybe it's seeing where the coordination was done, because that was not the same team we witnessed last map. That was almost not perfect, but pretty close coordination with them. Wolf being able to get value on EMPs without having to worry about a Diva Bomb coming behind, rotating ults, and just the contest there at the end. They almost had the first point, which is a huge victory for Dumpster Dives, because second point's not a hard one to take over once you get the first. But just stopping them right there, now you only have to worry about it. We have a pause going on, so I don't know what's going on here.
All right. Well, they do happen time and time again. The pauses do happen. So as we wait for the teams to get back into the fight here, this is. I was not expecting this. Like when I said I wanted to go to a map 5, I wasn't expecting such a absolute dominance of force coming out from Arctic Foxes on the defense. Like that was Like, we've seen kind of this ebb and flow, but Arctic Foxes are just like, okay, we've played with our food enough. Now we're going to take you out.
Yeah, now it's time to throw you in the trash, right?
I guess. You're right where you belong, apparently, as their name's so fake.
It could be the spam this dive to go to map 5. Maybe maybe you just brought him good luck with that beautiful chant that you came up with on the spot, right?
That is true.
But we have seen, on the other hand, Dumpster Dive do an amazing job holding with less time. So
that's true.
It's going to be interesting to see, but hopefully they'll be able to get back their DC'er.
Yep, they already did, and it looks like we're getting ready to get started once again as we go ahead and wait for their picks. It looks like they're coming out with the counter dive, as we saw from the side of Arctic Foxes, but I question it a little bit. I almost wonder if, because they didn't get a whole lot of value of it on the attack, and they showed on the defense that Ryan worked out a lot better for them. Going with more of a brawly composition, and with so little room to work, 83.24 meters, you don't got time to make mistakes like that.
You don't. So I think maybe Dud staying on the Widow longer than he should have probably is what cost him so much. Maybe switching over to the Reaper for the dive might have been a better pick. But, only time will tell in this match. And as of right now, it's just a stalemate for someone to get split.
The payload is speeding right now, already into the underground in the first 30 seconds, which we didn't see for the side of the Dumpster Divers right there. Eeyore getting the dive onto Panda right there as Azadale trying to see if they can take down their counter in the backline. Shellshock able to grab Golden Crow, though, as we see the hack coming in onto Azadale. It's a 4v6 fight right now as they get pushed off the objective for now, but already they have moved it so close, only 30 meters remaining to grabbing this objective.
Yeah. And you've also got Wolf 70% on an EMP, which in all reality is probably just going to be the ult they need to cap it. And they're, just rolling along still.
Yep, it looks like right now all they're doing is just trying to kind of feed into the objective, get that EMP charged up so that they can get the picks they need. But Eeyore and Shellshock are doing an incredible job just kind of cleaning up that backline over and over again, despite what keeps coming in. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining on the clock. EMP ready and raring to go. Wolf and Tommy right next to each other and don't even know it. I love it. I love it right there. As we see the hack try to come in onto Golden Crow. Going to be unsuccessful. EMP, but doesn't grab a Kua every time. Wolf not able to grab a Kua in that EMP is not going to make it an easy fight despite the EMP coming out. Primal Rage now coming out for Eeyore, but falling incredibly low as they just get deleted right there. Shellshock following up, able to get the Diva Bomb kill onto Cucumber as they continue to work strongly to hold this objective. 1:50 now remaining on the clock and still not able to push it that much further for the Arctic Fox.
Yeah, that high ground has been really key on holding it. And right now,
what?
Okay.
I wasn't exactly expecting that right there as Dale sends the bomb over the side, ends up grabbing Duds, and Panda able to follow up on Akua. Nevitz and Demo fighting out with the Coalescence, but the kills just keep coming in, and it looks like that pick on the Duds was enough to make it happen. 75 meters and climbing as Duds able to touch the objective with the Blossom, ends up getting a kill on the Wolf as Tommy follows up on the Panda, but the beat drop coming in from Cucumber, trying to keep it all coming in the ball. Now Eeyore able to hold on to the objective. Spin to win coming out just briefly as they try to send everyone off the objective. 2.47 meters remaining as the boobs continue to come in from that spinning ball, but the hack trying to land on their Wolf already almost up to that EMP. Woo! But oh no, Tommy ends up throwing down the EMP first. Duds able to grab Golden Crow as Wolf follows up or gets followed up on by Akua, and I think that's the end of this fight. 30 seconds remaining on the clock with just very minuscule meters to be had for Arctic Foxes.
You got Wolf with the EMP, you've got Golden Crow with the Primal, and you've got Coalescence right here. It's all going to be about coordination, especially with Asdel coming up on a Diva Bomb. That could be the play, is the EMP Diva Bomb. So we'll see how the coordination goes.
That might be what they need to do, and they got to be expecting it to happen. Here comes Wolf, EMP, but doesn't grab a Kua every time. Diva Bomb comes down, clears the minefield that was just sent out from Eeyore. Diva Bomb now coming out from Shellshock. Gets nothing but shield, so the picks have to come in on Natural right there. Does end up getting the DMAC on Asdale as Wolf able to follow up on Nevitz. Eeyore rolling down Pandas. Duds able to follow up onto Asdale. It's a 4v5 fight now on the objective as the hack comes in onto Cucumber and the chase coming down. Shellshock able to get that pick as the Kua falls to Wolf. Eeyore just running around like a hamster in a ball, which is exactly what he is. Big Slam coming in, looking to see if they can get the additional picks. Overtime 6 away, and that's it! Dumpster Divers, in an amazing upset, turn it around and are able to hold Watch Point Gibraltar, taking away tonight's Discord event 3-1 against the Arctic Fox.
You know what? Like I said, don't hold out on the Dumpster Divers because they did show us they know how to hold short time.
That's true.
And you know what? They proved you on the did they run the dive on defense with such short notice? You know? Actually, I think their biggest brain play on this map was allowing the cart to get underneath before contesting. Because then you really get to split the team when they're coming back from staggering. Because you got people going under, you got people going up. And they just pretty much had the high ground all the way up until the cart was right there at the end. So,
Good point.
Big play by them.
That's true. And with having the dive ability, they were able to go back and forth very fluidly. Whereas the Arctic Foxes really had to choose whether they were going to dive the cart or they were going to dive above or if they were going to try to split their attention. And that didn't work out very well for them, unfortunately. So, congratulations, Dumpster Divers taking their first victory tonight against the Arctic Foxes. Absolutely incredible for them to be able to pull that off tonight. Because remember, that in Indigo Sea and Aurum Sea, they're fighting for the bottom 2 spots, I believe, in the Discord tier, which there are a lot in the Discord tier. So they're fighting for those bottom 2 spots. They have to be at the top or second from the top in their group in order to advance off to the playoffs. And Dumpster Divers setting themselves up really good right now. Now let's throw it to player of the match. Gizmo, who would you choose as your player of the match for this evening?
You know, this is a tough one. Wolf had some amazing EMPs, but they just didn't get the value enough for me to pick him. I honestly wanted to go with Akua. Just always hiding, ready to drop that beat drop, keeping his team in the fight. I think that's honestly what, was the advantage for the Dumpster Divers was just Akua hiding. And everyone knows me in the league. I usually go for a DPS player or a tank. It's very rare I pick a Lucio player. Very rare. But Akua just big brain plays right there, always hiding. And actually, I don't know if anyone noticed, but on Temple of Anubis, he was actually hiding in the back on second point, and Wolf went right by him. And instead of just hacking him, making sure he couldn't drop the beat, goes for the EMP, and whoop, Akua right there to stay the fight with the beat drop. So, big brain plays by him.
That has me thinking of like the sweating meme when they're trying to time that out. Yeah, it's like Wolf goes for the hack on the Lucio, tries to throw the EMP and grab the Lucio. Which one is it? But I have to agree, Akua is definitely a big one that was on my mind for this evening. Trying to avoid that Sombra and knowing when those EMPs are coming are huge. That is absolutely huge for them. But I'm gonna have to give it to Eeyore. Maybe representative of a sad donkey in the stories that your kids may know, but definitely a big player tonight. Was showing to be absolutely huge on the dive many times over, either coming out as the ball or as the diva in various fights that they had going on tonight. So you're walking away with my player of the match. Let us know in the chat who you all want as your player of the match, and hopefully we can shout them out before we close out the evening. I will remind you one last time, it is September, so if you have the money to spare, be sure to hit that subscription bell and save yourself a little bit of money for a 1 month, 3 month, or 6 month subscription. It goes a long way to helping out our amazing community. You can also hit that heart, punch that bell, so you get notified every time we're online as well. Let me go ahead and check the upcoming schedule for this week. We are on Thursday, so that means tomorrow night is going to be our Transcendence tier special with Tempo versus Arctic. So we had the Arctic Foxes, and now we have Arctic coming out to the beat of their own drum, seeing if they can take a victory in the Transcendence tier. And then our YouTube special on Sunday will be Royals versus Doodles in the Harmony tier. And then, of course, we're back to it on Monday with your Iris podcast. So with all that going on, you want to be sure that you're here, you're hearted, you're belled. Head over to youtube.com/OW Tranquility. Hit the sub over there. It's free over there. And you get notified every time that not only we have a premiere, but all the videos from here get uploaded. So if you missed a match and you're like, oh man, it was a couple weeks ago, I don't know if I'll be able to see it, it's over there. You can check it out over there. It's really great. So be sure to do all that amazing stuff. I want to give a special thank you to Atlas and Juke once again for filling in for producer when Atlas was having some issues tonight. It looks like Atlas got the code, so going to be able to figure it out for future productions. With all that being said, let's take a quick look in the chat, see if anybody's, doesn't look like we have any. We got some love for Seb. Seb was huge. I do have to give some love to Seb on the coalescences. Those were absolutely huge right there. And I think that's all we got. So with that being said, that's it for us here from Overwatch Tranquility. I'm Captain Jack.
I'm Gizmo Charmander.
And we'll see y'all next time.